Okay. I'm gonna be pissed if this battery's dead. There's a reason they're all standing around watching, because we haven't driven this yet. I have not driven this yet. We just got to put back together after the axles blew up. Let's see here. Come on. What's the sequence? What did I say about the battery being dead?
It cranked earlier today and it cranked good.
We'll put a charger on it. This is dumb. Let's start now. Now that I remember the start sequence. First, you got to hit unlock. That charges everything. I like that. All right, let's drive it. All right, free sticker to whoever can guess what I'm in the first 10 seconds. Here we go.
Not hearing any expensive sounds.
All right, here we go. First drive. I got brakes, I got steering. It feels like a normal G-Wagon. Oh my God, something happened. It means we did a thing. Oh, you have no idea. To give you any idea how big a deal it is, the whole team is out there watching because we're all in disbelief. Like, we actually did it. It works. So I guess you guys need some context on what's really happening here. So this is an EMC Wolf. The steering wheel is way crooked, but we'll fix that later. This is the maiden voyage, by the way. For those of you not familiar with EMC Wolf, or Expedition Motor Company, this is one of their trucks. They build these with 5-cylinder non-turbo diesels with a blistering 60 horsepower on a good day at the crank at sea level. Anyway, it was pretty dismal to drive. So here we have one that we decided enough is enough. So we swapped in an M113 AMG motor from a C55. It's one of the high compression 5.5 liter motors. It does pretty good, but we actually had it running before with the original drivetrain, but the problem is with the rear-wheel drive drivetrain of the Wolf, it put all the power to the back axle and it broke the back axle. So what do? We put 463 axles underneath this thing, so now that it's all-wheel drive all the time, and the 463 T-case. Let's take a video. Well, I'm feeling lucky today. We're going to take it out and get running through the gears. I'm feeling particularly ambitious. Of course, somebody pulls out in front of us. Okay, so the other important thing to consider, the other reason we did this, is these trucks are geared incredibly low from the factory. I'm not going to go around the main blocks. We still got to pull around and QC some stuff. But we would basically be doing, I don't know, 3,200 RPM at 60 miles an hour, even with a 5-speed overdrive transmission. It was just way too low. So by putting in a set of 463 axles with much lower gearing, not only did we gain disc brakes on the front or on the rear, but we also got the gearing we wanted so that we can go highway speeds. So I'm being very gentle with it right now. But it's got good power, good pickup. It shifts through all the gears. Man, it's pretty low RPM, just cruising. So we have a 5-speed automatic that's electronically controlled. We actually have a standalone controller right there. We're looking at some real-time data. And then the engine is also being run off of a standalone ECU. It's a Haltech Nexus R3, one of their fancy ones. And man, so far everything works pretty good. So we've got a little bit of tuning to do as we work through all the different maps and all the shifting points. But overall, this is the first drive that we've actually done in it since we put it together. So this is partially for you guys, the viewers, to show something a little different that you don't always see, and partially for the owner because he's on the other side of the country. So yeah, it's just an easy cruiser now. We're not struggling to get the speed. We're not trying to row all the gears of a 5-cylinder. So pretty happy with it. We've got some refinement to go on it. We're going to wrap up the dash. But let's pull it back in and look under the hood so you can see some of the details there. Well, clearly I've still got some tuning to do because at the low RPM, it's not fueling correctly. So it wants to kind of stall out. So once we work through all those little quirks, we'll be in business. Let's take a look around and see what we're up to. So as you see, it's your typical EMC Wolf. It is exceptionally dusty. No, we're not going to wipe it off because we got to wash it. But under the hood, we got rid of the 5-cylinder non-turbo diesel. And what you see here is the 5.5 liter naturally aspirated AMG V8. This came out of a C55. It is in there, and it's actually being powered or controlled by a standalone ECU. It's a little bit of a complicated ball of wax to get that figured out, but we have it running, we have it working. We've got to do some fine tuning on to get it to work correctly. But this is an answer to a question that was being asked, because these are cool trucks, but golly, are they slow, and how do we make them better? Here's our answer. So you're catching us mid-ship on this, so to speak, mid-process. So some other things we've done, I mean, there's a lot that took place under the hood here to make everything fit, because a V8 is going in place where a 5-cylinder diesel went. The inside, we're doing a couple little things. We're not quite complete with it yet. But as you see, we recovered part of the dash. We're going to recover the seats to match the dash, because this is a cool fabric here. We also did the center console shifter boot area as well. So that's all in there. We did get rid of the key situation where you have a push button starter, which kind of steps it up a little bit and offers a level of security that is pretty important. Underneath here, we've got the transmission controller, the ECU, part of the fuse block, and all the other good stuff. And this little fun guy is your transmission controller display, so you can see some vital temps on the transmission. Keen eye viewers may note that the center floor behind the shifter looks a little different. We did have to modify that because we got rid of the old 460 transfer case and put a 463 transfer case in here, along with 463 axles. Now, the reason we did that, again, was because the back axle broke when we originally fired this up and drove it around. Just too much power putting through that one single rear axle, and it was game over. So by swapping out 463 axles, or a little beefier, we get disc brakes in the back, and we have all-wheel drive. And when you're splitting that much power to all 4 wheels, it just makes it handle and drive a whole lot better. And being as this is the first time I've driven this truck, or anybody's driven this truck with this axle combination, I will say the guys actually did a pretty damn good job. It brakes, it steers, it's predictable, it didn't do anything weird. So now we're just down to refining it. So that part is cool. We're also going to finish up and tidy up the back part of the floor. We did have to fab up part of the sheet metal, so we're going to tidy that up. And we also put a 3-row bench back here that did have buckets. However, when you got 3 kids, 2 buckets don't work. So that's one of the things we did back there. Back here, there's a little discrete action going on. You notice we have a touch screen panel up there, but back here we also have a subwoofer. We actually made this. There's a subwoofer inside of here, and it's ported, and it ports out through the bottom here. So kind of cool, kind of discreet. No one really knows what it is, but it's a subwoofer, because let's face it, you got to have tunes if you're out cruising around. Backup camera's up there, and the top's upstairs because we don't want to get it dirty. So thanks for watching this one. This one, as we finish it up, we get all the little details worked out. We get the suspension wrapped up. We get the tuning done. We get all the fun things. You're going to see more and more of this truck in all of its glory, with give or take just shy of 400 horsepower, 5-speed automatic, dual exhaust awesomeness, ripping around and having a good time. I'm Joe Gocher This is Nothing But G's on the Alliance here in Loveland, Colorado. Our doors are always open. Come by and see us. I'd love to hear from you.